Do you agree with them to killing Khamenei? Are you on the same page with Amir?
I gave you a historic reason why the Iranian Revolution happened and how it will end. I will give you an economic and a geopolitical reason for that too.
Dr. Kangel, do you want to not go there? Because then I don't want to go there to that forbidden part that I'm talking about. It's up to you. Up to you.
I think the story is much bigger than Ayatollah Khamenei or Khomeini or Carter or Guadeloupe. Story is far, far, far bigger. And the way it happened is because of the reasons beyond these people, and the way it will end is beyond these people, and it has some historic reasons and some reasons that I would like to kind of open in the next couple of minutes. So the United States and the free world, after we won the World War II, right? We won the World War II. And in the last 80 years after World War II, we've had a world order, the so-called international rule-based order. Basically, it's the international rule-based order that we, the United States of America, established that in Bretton Woods in 1947. After we won the World War II, we called all the allies in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, and we told them, 55 countries, and we told them, look, guys, up until the beginning of this World War II, there was another big guy in the world, British Empire. From today on, we are the big guys. And this is the way we are going to run the world. The way we're going to run the world from now on is like this. We, the United States, we established security of the free waters, of the blue waters of the world, the security for trade. The US Navy and the US military will guarantee security of trade between the nations. The nations who are on our side they don't need any insurance policies. They don't need to escort their merchant ships. We will provide that security with one caveat. You should be on our side. You cannot be on the bad guy's side. You cannot be on the Soviet side. This is what's called Bretton Woods world or world order or the post-World War II order or the international rule-based order, whatever you want to call it. And from 1945 till 1990, when Soviet Union exploded, imploded, and collapsed, this was the world order. And in the background of the world order, we had some kind of an undeclared relationship between the United States and Russia, between the free world and the Soviet world and the socialist world, called the Cold War. The Cold War was something that actually we invented. We decided that we will never get engaged in a hot war with the Russians, with the communists. Instead, we are going to destroy them like this. We are going to impose a very expensive arms race that is so expensive that the socialist economy cannot handle it. This was a brilliant move. We did that. And by 1990, when Gorbachev was the Secretary General of the Communist Party in Russia, that's exactly what happened. In the last year of Gorbachev's rule in Russia, the last year of the rule of communism in Russia, the shelves in the grocery stores were empty. It was an empire. It was a military empire, but it was an economic basket case. We did that with resounding success. So Soviet Union, our enemy, disappeared. Between 1990, when Soviet Union collapsed, and 2010, in the 20 years. So prior to that, in the 30 years of the Cold War and the competition between the United States and Russia, we basically had a bipolar world, two superpowers, America as the capitalist superpower and Russia as the socialist superpower. Between 1990 and 2010, in those 20 years, the world had only one power, one superpower. That 20 years, that 2 decades is called the unipolar moment. It's called moment, even though it's 20 years, because it's very short in the context of the history of mankind. In that 20 years, United States was the biggest honcho, the only superpower in the world. We didn't take advantage of that unipolar moment. What we did in that unipolar moment, unfortunately, George W. Bush was our president, and he thought that since we are the only superpower, there's no Russia to constrain us anymore, we can just invade anyone we want. So we invaded Afghanistan, and we invaded Iraq, and in both of those cases, we were extremely successful. In Abraham Lincoln, it's really ironic. Abraham Lincoln, that's heading towards Persian Gulf today, was parked off the Gulfs of Bahrain 30 years ago when tomahawks were lobbed by Abraham Lincoln, and they destroyed the Iraqi machinery in 93 hours. That was a big show for the military-industrial complexes and a big success for America, but a big defeat for democracy because of the following reason. The Islamic Republic in Iran had two mortal enemies, Saddam Hussein on the west and Taliban in Afghanistan on the right. George Bush destroyed both of those enemies of the Islamic Republic and gave the Islamic Republic a mandate to rule unconstrained in the Middle East. In the following 20 years after the war in Iraq and Afghanistan ended, the stocks of the Islamic Republic went through the roof. They started really projecting power, building Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis in Yemen, and basically destabilizing Iraq, preventing Iraqis from establishing the kind of democracy that the United States wanted to establish it, and building this corridor between Iran and Iraq and Syria, and feeding the Hezbollah with all kinds of powers, 40,000 missiles, and basically threatening the existence of the Middle. All of that was the courtesy of the destruction of the Islamic Republic's both enemies on either side of the country. So you see, instead of using that unipolar window of opportunity to solve the economic problems of capitalism, and we had plenty of economic problems to solve, we did this on the one hand. On the other hand, we decided to help China. This happened during Clinton. We decided to provide China with massive amount of capital and flow of technology to turn China, a third world country, into the economic superpower that it is now. Both of those mistakes have come back to haunt us now. China, for a while, they played the game of being an ally and friendly. And
is your point here? What's your point here?
My point here is that the reason why President Trump came to office is because of this gigantic mistake that was done by Republicans and Democrats at the same time, and then and the problem didn't really go anywhere, didn't disappear. Today we have $37 trillion of national debt. We had $1.3 trillion of trade deficit with our major partners. America was heading for a total collapse, for the edge of the cliff. And the American people realized that. They realized that they don't need Democrats or Republicans. They need a fresh blood, a fresh outlook in the White House. And that's why Trump was elected as president. So Trump while he's solving those problems, the national debt, the tariffs is a brilliant move to solve the trade deficit, the national debt, and all of that. But along with his outlook to politics and international relations came this irreconcilable attitude towards the enemies of the United States, small or large. So when he identified Venezuela, Cuba, and the Islamic Republic as the three countries that are allying with China and Russia to compete with the United States and undermine the US economy, these countries that I just named, China, Russia, Venezuela, Cuba, and the Islamic Republic, they have started a campaign of de-dollarization in the world economy. They want to do away with dollar and replace dollar with their local currencies, yen and rupee and real and all of that. If that happens, the economy of the United States will collapse. So he has to combat that problem, the de-dollarization of China, Russia, Iran, and Venezuela and Cuba.
And should President Trump kill Khomeini?
That was a whole 7 minutes. You still didn't answer the question.
Well, it's not for me to say what.
I know, but I'm asking your opinion. What is your opinion? I got a history lesson, but I want to know what.
Unfortunately, I don't think President Trump will listen to me.
It's not about the president listening to you. This isn't about the president. Audience is watching. Yeah. We have you guys here. History lesson, I can go to History Channel and get it. If it's leading to an answer, doctor, I want to know about it. Do you think there will be intervention? Should there be intervention or no? What do you think? I want to get your opinion.
First of all, I don't think what you heard from me, you will get it from History Lesson, History Channel.
To get it from who?
You're not going to get it from History Channel. History Channel will give you the party line, not the analysis I just gave you. But I think I will answer your question like this. I think President Trump will do what you asked me. He's going to go after Khamenei. He's going to after the leadership of the Islamic Republic Revolutionary Guard, IRGC. He's going to go after the people who committed all these atrocities in the last 3 weeks, and he cannot not do it.
And since
He
President
cannot
Trump,
not do it.
He cannot
Yeah.
not do it.
Why can he not do
he said
it?
that. President Trump just created the red line. It's not Obama. When Obama regarding Syria and Bashar Assad said, that's my red line, don't cross it. And then Bashar Assad several times crossed that red line and nothing happened. President Trump, he's the man of his word. Everything he said happened. President Trump, 3 weeks ago, told the Iranian regime, if you kill any protester, I'm coming to punish you. I'm coming to help the people and rescue them. And they didn't kill one protester. They killed at least up to now 70,000 protesters. They shot 400,000 protesters. And right now they have 3 million people under torture.
When we set out to create a shoe that blends comfort, function, and luxury, we had the choice to make it fast. We had the choice to make it cheap. We chose neither. Instead, we chose Tuscany, Italy. We chose true Italian craftsmanship, each pair touched by 50 skilled hands. We chose patience, spending 2 years perfecting every detail, and we chose the finest quality at every step. Introducing the Future Looks Bright collection. Not rushed, not disposable, not ordinary. Rather, intentional, luxurious, timeless. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.